So this is the main building in the Vatican, where the centre of government.
Okay.
Mainly lay people are employed here, running the whole of the Vatican State.
Okay.
And then you have the garden in front, which is a symbol of a representation of the Pope's motto.
Okay.
And it changes according to the Pope. So Pope Benedict had there was a different garden there, a different representation of his motto. This fountain was only built recently. It's dedicated to Saint Joseph.
Ah, okay.
And it was Joseph Ratzinger during his time.
Ah, to the Pope?
So to the Pope. So there are 6 representations of the life of Saint Joseph, all done in bronze. And so that's a beautiful fountain there. And like this fountain, there's some statues that are very representative of the different popes.
That is Maria di Guadalupe. Look, wow, it's amazing. So that is the chapel.
This is the chapel, the main chapel of the governor of the government building, and it's dedicated to Our Lady, Mother of the Family.
Okay.
So you can see Our Lady with the child Jesus in her arms.
Okay.
In the Blessed Sacrament, and there are 6 representations on the walls around us.
Okay.
We have Saint Joseph up here, Our Lady of Guadalupe here,
And there?
and then here we have
Santa.
Our Mother of Sorrows, Our Lady of Sorrows.
Okay.
And on this side we have John the Baptist.
That's it, okay.
And then up here we have the Sacred Heart of Jesus.
Ah, okay, il Sacro Cuore. Okay. Oh. And the Pope here is to celebrate the Mass?
No, this is mainly for special events, maybe of the different families of the people who are involved in the government.
Okay.
And Cardinal Fernando Verges, Legionario di Cristo,
Our friend.
He is the responsible for all of this building and all of the government of the Vatican.
Okay.
I remember both Pope Francis and Pope Benedict Emeritus were standing here at the inauguration of this, the defender of the Church and of the state of the Vatican is the patron, Saint Michael the Archangel.
Poi è verde, oh, guarda.
So about 5 or 6 years ago, there were no parrots in the gardens, but because of the change of the heat and the temperature, these parrots have made this place their home. There are hundreds of parrots in the Vatican Gardens. Questi sono piccioni, non volano questa ancora, o sì?
No, volano, voglia.
Queste 3.
Sì. Mi hanno fregato. Però sono belli, vero?
Sì. They screech, the noise that you can see all the different types of cactus. There are representatives of all different kinds.
Wow.
These are donations that people will have made. They wanted to make the gardens more beautiful.
Okay.
John Paul II, Saint
Okay.
John Paul II.
Yeah.
1 year after his first visit abroad,
Okay.
he went to Mexico.
Oh, wow.
And he was there. There he decided the Our Lady of Guadalupe to visit.
Let's go.
So he came here afterwards, and he wanted to thank the Legionaries of Christ for their support and for helping to organize that visit to Mexico. And afterwards he made the decision before the Blessed Mother that he was going to visit different countries to reawaken
Okay.
the love for Jesus, because the church and the world was in need of Christ. And so here I remember listening to him, being at the Mass with him, just a unique experience. And then it was this bishop up here on the right-hand side who
Yeah.
was in charge of the government within the Vatican at the time.
To the left?
And to the left was Paul VI, who was just
Okay.
before. So it was built during the time of Paul VI, and a unique grotto, very much like the grotto in Lourdes.
Okay.
Una piccola avenida. It's a little avenue,
Okay.
and on either side of the avenue
Yeah.
you have flowers from the Bible, flowers and trees. So
From the Bible.
from the Bible.
Wow.
So you can, for example, as we walk along here, you'll be able to see how the gardeners planted these different plants
Yeah.
that are referred to in the Bible. So you get to actually see them as they are. So, for example, a papyrus. Papyrus.
Okay.
What's a papyrus? A papyrus is a plant, and we'll
Okay.
be able to see the plant further along on
Okay.
this avenue. And on one end you have an image of Our Lady of Mercy,
Yeah.
and on the other end we have the image of Our Lady of Lourdes. So it's a nice place to walk up and down in peace and pray for the church and pray for everyone.
For everyone, yeah.
For all the people. Then behind the grotto you can see the walls, the original walls that would have continued right along here, and you can see up here on this side, right up to where the Vatican Radio has its headquarters.
Okay, yeah. Thank you.
The laurel. So when the Lord appears, you'll be crowned with the crown of laurel.
Questo è il mirto. Ah, eso es papiro. Mai visto in mia vita, padre.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ma non potendo tenerlo nascosto, più oltre prese un cestello di papiro, lo spalmò di bitume e di pesce, vi mise dentro il bambino e lo depose fra i giunchi sulla riva del Nilo. So this is what they made the little
Who
a
was?
basket.
Ah,
big
okay.
bag. A little basket made from
Okay.
papyrus is where they placed the baby Moses.
Mhm. Ah, Leandro. Però che silenzio, eh. Accannasi. Ah, l'assenzio, eh. Do you know what does mean accenzio? Okay. Thanks. E voi? Ah, vi andò anche Nicodemo, quello che in precedenza era andato da lui.
E da lui.
Sì. E portò una misura di mirra di aloe in circa di 100 libbre.
Questo già l'ho visto, no?
Sì.
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 This monument was a present from the people of Mexico to Pope Pius XII. And it shows the moment when Saint Juan Diego is presenting the flowers that he picked off the top of the hill of Tepeyac during the winter. There should be no flowers.
Okay.
And it was a sign that the bishop was to build a church there. But the boy didn't know that on his tilma, on his cloak, he was showing the bishop the image of Our Lady of Guadalupe, which is not painted by human hands. It's a very mysterious and holy representation of our Blessed Mother as an Aztec woman. And there were very great difficulties in converting the Mexican people, who were mainly Aztecs, to the faith until after this miracle. Juan Diego was an Aztec, and Our Lady appeared as an Aztec woman about to give birth. So she was pregnant, and this was the sign that some Aztecs believed was going to happen. And there are stars on her cloak which shows the time in which she actually appeared at that time in Mexico. It's a very miraculous image, not painted by human hand. And so the bishop built the basilica there in Mexico, which is one of the largest basilicas in the world. There's Lourdes, there's Fatima, and there's the Basilica of Our Lady Guadalupe in Mexico.
Penso che sia la terza.
Hopefully you can go there someday.
Mm-hmm.
But it's one of those few images that, for me, is a clear sign that that the infinite exists, God exists. Pope was elected.
Yeah.
His apartment wasn't ready. He had nowhere to go, so they had to do it up. They had to put in a bed and everything. So he lived here for a few weeks, and from that window up there, the policeman was down here on guard. And he told me, he's an Italian policeman, retired now. He said, I looked up there and there was the Pope at the window up there.
Oh God.
And he waved at me.
Just
at
like
a distance, just like that. He waved at me, and then he sent me his blessing. He said, I remember that as if it were yesterday.
Wow.
So we're talking about 1979. Wow. These are experiences that you know,
for your life,
mark your life. Yeah.
Wow.
Beautiful.
And that campana, how can I say in English, campana?
This is a bell.
Bells, okay.
This was donated to the Holy Father in the year 2000. So you know that in London they didn't know what to do to celebrate the millennium, the second millennium, going into the third millennium. So they built this bell, which is the bell of the Jubilee, given to John Paul II. And I was working in the Central Committee for the Great Jubilee at that time. And I remember this bell was given to Cardinal Roger Echegaray, who was in charge of the Jubilee, and Cardinal Sepe was the secretary. And then they brought it all the way up here and placed it here for
It's wonderful. Wow. Look at cupolone.
And then you have this unique
shot
of the Dome of St. Peter's. Paolo VI ha invitato diversi personaggi della Chiesa ecumenica, cioè il patriarca della Russia e altri, e si sono vissuti, si sono rimasti in queste torri. Stiamo parlando del 1965 e 67.
Ma questa è la torre di che nome c'ha? Che bella però.
Poi c'è un passaggio segreto per tutto.
Là sopra là.
Che poi non si usa. So here you have the Ethiopian seminary. It used to be a house that used to take pilgrims from Ethiopia way back in the early centuries, and it remained within the Vatican Gardens and is now a seminary for Eritrean and Ethiopian seminarians. Behind it we have the Governatorato, the governor. We've seen that already, but we can't see it from here. It's blocked. And then beyond it we have the back of St. Peter's Basilica and the dome. An interesting view from this angle. And then another beautiful garden here. Questa è la casa dove è vissuto 10 anni il Papa Emerito Benedetto. Pope Benedict XVI lived here for 10 years while Pope Francis reigned as Pope. So you can see his view, beautiful view of the city of Rome and of course of the Dome of St. Peter's. We're blessed to have a sunny day.